Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to Unit 9, Lesson 9. Today we're going to learn how to add and subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. So remember, I showed you, and you know how to add fractions that have the same denominators. Remember that you work with just the numerators. So as an example, I have 8/5 plus 3/5. Now all you do, they're split into 5 equal pieces. Say you have 8 and you're adding 3 pieces to it. The denominator stays the same because you're still working with the same size chocolate bar. You only work with the numerators. So you did 8 plus 3, and that equals 11/5. Now before, we left our answer as 11/5, but that is an improper fraction. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. In order to change that to a mixed number for our answer, we're going to do a little division. So I did 11 divided by 5. Remember, that's another division problem. Numerator divided by the denominator. So first you asked, does 5 go into 1? No, it does not. But 5 does go into 11 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract, and I get 1. No more numbers to bring down, so that becomes my remainder. To turn this into a mixed number, a whole number and fraction, the main part of my answer becomes the whole number, 2. The remainder becomes my numerator, and denominator stays the same. So 2 and 1/5 is my answer here. And that is a mixed number because it has a whole number and a buddy fraction. So now let's take a look at, now that you know how to add fractions like a professional, how to add mixed numbers with the same denominators. So the first thing you want to do is add the fractions first. The reason I recommend you start with fractions first is because it's kind of got a cool ring to it, but that's not the only reason. Fractions first. Really nice ring to it, actually. But the reason for that is when you get to subtraction, you need to borrow sometimes. And in order to know if you need to borrow, you have to take a look at the fractions first. So just get that little saying stuck in your heads. Fractions first, fractions first. So let's do our first example. 2 and 3/5 plus 1 and 1/5. So again, fractions first. I'll do 3/5 plus 1/5. Now, the denominator is the same, so I can act right away. So this is like taking 3 pieces of chocolate and adding 1. How much of that chocolate bar will I have? 3 plus 1 is 4. Denominator stays the same, 5ths. So all I did here was add 3 plus 1. Denominator stayed the same. Now I just add the whole numbers. This is a proper fraction, so it's good to go. It's done. Now I add 2 plus 1. That will give me my final answer of 3 and 4/5. All right, on to the next one. Remember, fractions first. So for this one, I'm going to be doing 2/3 plus 2/3. So again, denominator stays the same. I just add the numerators, 2 plus 2. Now 2 plus 2 gives me 4. Denominator stays the same, thirds. Okay, this, red alert, improper fraction. This needs to be converted to a mixed number. But we'll do that after we've found our whole numbers from the problem. So we go back, solve our problem. We'll leave 4/3 for now and come back to it. Now I add my whole numbers, 5 plus 2. That gives me 7. So my not final answer, my rough draft answer I'll call it, is 7 and 4/3. But now I need to convert 4/3 into a good fraction. So we take 4 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract, and I get a 1. So that would be my remainder. What this will turn into now is a mixed number that I need to add to what I have. So the main number is 1. Remainder becomes my numerator. Denominator stays the same. So 1 and 1/3 is what 4/3 converts to. So now you're asking, well, wait, which one's my answer? 7 or 1 and 1/3? Well, now my final draft answer will be combining these. I can combine the whole numbers together. 7 plus 1 to get the final whole number 8, and we bring along the buddy fraction and 1/3. So let me walk you through what I did. Fractions first. I added my fractions 2/3 plus 2/3 to get 4/3. That's an improper fraction, so I knew I'd have to go back later and change it. So then I added my whole numbers, 5 plus 2. That's where 7 sat while it waited, and I changed my improper fraction by dividing to get a new mixed number. The last step was adding that new mixed number with my whole number, 7, that was just waiting, hanging out on the beach. And once I added those together, I got 8, 7 plus 1, and 1/3. You do not want improper fractions in your final answers. So sometimes you have to do a couple extra steps to finish. All right, so let's try some subtracting with mixed numbers. Now, they have the same denominators, so we're good to go right away. Again, remember to do fractions first. So 6/8 minus 3/8. So remember, that's like taking 6 of those chocolate pieces and giving away 3. Still 8 equal pieces, so denominator stays the same. 6 minus 3 is 3. Denominator stays the same, so 3/8. That's a good fraction, so we leave that alone and do our whole numbers next. 5 minus 3 is 2. Final answer, 2 and 3/8. So let's take a look at another example. Here we have 7 and 5/6 minus 4 and 1/6. Remember the saying, fractions first. So this one works out nicely. We don't have to borrow. We'll do 5/6 minus 1/6. So again, you're only going to look at the numerators. So you'll set it up as 5 minus 1 over 6. Denominator stays the same because we're still talking about the same chocolate bar. So 5/6 minus 1/6 would be 4/6. That is a proper fraction, so we'll leave it alone. Now we do our whole numbers. 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 gives me 3. So our final answer is 3 and 4/6. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what happens when you need to borrow when subtracting mixed numbers. So here's an example. 6 and 2/8 minus 4 and 5/8. So this is why I tell you to look at the fractions first. You'll notice with this first example, we have 2/8 minus 5/8. Well, we can't do 2 minus 5 unless we want to end up with negative numbers. So what you do is you borrow from the whole number. So the way you're going to do this is you're first going to look at the buddy fraction. The denominator we're using here in this problem is 8. So remember that when you borrow a whole, the numerator and denominator are the same number. In this case, the buddy fractions are in eighths, so I want the whole to be in eighths as well. So what you do is you cross out the whole number. You're borrowing a whole, so this becomes 5. Now, instead of taking it as 1, instead of doing 1 and 2/8, you're actually going to write it as a fraction. So 8/8. Again, I chose 8 because the buddy fraction is working in eighths. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to combine that 8/8 with our 2/8. So if you think 2/8 plus 8/8, that gives me a new fraction, 10/8. So what I just did is I borrowed from the whole. The whole was 6, took 1 away, so that became 5. Now, it looks originally like 1 whole, but remember I can write that as 8/8 because the buddy fraction was written in eighths. So then you add the 2 that was there plus the 8 from the whole, and you get 10/8. Now I can subtract 10 minus 5. Denominator stays the same as eighths. 10 minus 5 is 5. Denominator stays the same. So 5/8 for the fractions. Now when I subtract the whole numbers, I have the new number 5 minus 4. So now your final answer becomes 1 and 5/8. So again, we'll look at this next one. I notice right away 4 and 1/5 minus 1 and 3/5. 1 minus 3 is going to give me a negative number. Instead of doing that, we're going to borrow from the whole number. So, in order to get enough to subtract, I borrow from the 4. So I borrow a whole, so now the 4 becomes 3. Remember that borrowing a whole could look like 1, but I'm going to write it as the fraction equivalent. So how do you know which fraction to use? Take a look at the buddy fractions. What's the denominator they're using? Well, here the chocolate bars are split into 5 equal pieces. So you're going to write your whole as 5 over 5, or 5/5. Remember that that is equal to 1 whole. Now that I've written that, I can get rid of this 1. And what you'll do is you'll combine the 5/5 with the 1/5 that are there. So that becomes the new improper fraction, 6/5. Now I have enough to subtract on top. So now it's rewritten as 6 minus 3. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Denominator stays the same as 5, 3/5. Now I go back to my whole numbers. The new one, 3 minus 1. Final answer, 2 and 3/5. So as a quick reminder, when you borrow using fractions, you borrow a whole, look at the buddy fraction to decide what your numerator and denominator need to be when you borrow the whole. Does it need to be in eighths? Does it need to be in fifths? Look at the buddy fraction to decide, and then you get enough material added together. So 5 and 1 became 6/5, 8 and 2 became 10/8, and then you have enough to subtract properly. On your ticket today, you have a couple of examples. The first one is adding 4 and 3/5 plus 2 and 4/5. The next one is 8 and 7/9 minus 6 and 2/9. And the last one, you're going to practice that borrowing. You cannot do 3 minus 6, so you're going to need to borrow from the whole number on this last problem.